Hey Mama, it's Jocelyn. Welcome to the podcast. We are going to keep going postpartum because now you have a new thing to accomplish, to figure out and do, and that is life with a newborn, which is not easy. For some, it's going to be harder than pregnancy. For some, it's going to be easier than pregnancy. And for all, there are going to be bumps along the road because it is not easy having a newborn. So let's jump into today and give you what might be going on with your body and baby and some mindset tools to help you through this week. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. Let's talk about baby a little bit. Baby is still sleeping a lot, but hopefully by the 3rd week they are starting to get their days and their nights a little bit more straightened out. If not, during the day I encourage you to start trying to keep them awake a little bit longer. How you do that is you can follow the simple cycle that I do with my babies that helps tremendously. And that is eat, so you feed them, and then they stay awake, and then after they've been awake for a while, they go to sleep. And when they're in the wake, the wake part of the cycle, that's when you will try to keep them awake a little bit longer. Do things like give them a bath or tickle their arms or look at them and talk to them, read them stories. Just stretch that out a little bit so that hopefully through the night they will start to sleep a little bit better. Babies can only see short distances still. Their eye muscles are still in the process of developing. They aren't able to distinguish colors until a few months old, which I thought was so interesting. And my other thought was, how do they figure this out? Like, more or less, some of the research I read, which will be in the link, it's from the Mama Natural website, said that they only see black and white. And then red will be the first color they see. Like, how do they even figure that out? Anyway, kind of interesting. So, but there's that to think about. But with all of those hours that the baby is sleeping, especially if you are on like maternity leave or if you're just planning to be a stay-at-home mom, your mind might be going a little bit crazy. You may be feeling bored, not sure what to do. You've cleaned the house, you've organized it, and you still have time left over. Well, this might be a good time to pick up a hobby or re-pick up a hobby that you have done or have always wanted to do. Something I did or tried with my first baby or shortly thereafter was a blog. And it definitely was not successful. Nonetheless, it was a good creative outlet. It gave me something to do, and it gave me experience to lead me towards podcasting. So that was something I did or picked up and tried. You could sew, pick up sewing or re-pick it up, decorate, get good at DIY projects and making your house feel like your home, embroider or paint. Even just coloring and coloring books can be very therapeutic. It doesn't have to be something that you have to put effort into. Do something that interests you, though. Maybe you've always thought about making videos or doing some type of course or follow along online. This might be a good time to do that while the baby sleeps a lot. Also, it might be a good time to get a nap while the baby sleeps, especially if it is your first baby. If it's not your first baby, that might be a little harder because you are going to have other little ones to watch. But If it is your first baby, enjoy those naps, because as more come along, they get farther and fewer between. But they are all such blessings. These babies are amazing and a blessing to be in your home. And you are a good mama. You are doing just what is needed for your baby. Now, I want to shift more into you a little bit, and maybe some things that might be going on with your thoughts and feelings, especially in relationship to nursing. Now, I am a big fan of nursing because I think it's really healthy for mama and for baby. It helps regulate and get mom's body back to normal. It has so many amazing antibodies for baby. And it's like exactly what they need. I mentioned this in many previous episodes, but your breast milk can actually change to give the baby the immunities it needs for, like, if there's sicknesses around. It is pretty incredible stuff. But it is not easy, and you might be feeling like a cow. I know that at times I just felt like that's what I was. I was a cow, just feeding the baby all the time. And it kind of, if you're not careful, can be a mental down spiral. And you will get feeling like, I can't do this. This is so hard. My nipples are sore. I'm getting clogged milk ducts. My letdown is too much. And your brain is going to start getting to be very convincing that it is not worth it to nurse. Mama, I want to encourage you. It is worth it to nurse. All of these things that I just mentioned, like sore nipples, clogged milk ducts, the increased, maybe you have a increased letdown or feeling like you don't have enough milk, they often tend to regulate over time and just with working things out with your baby. So keep trying. If this is not for you, and I know for some women it's not, or it is too hard and mentally you just need to quit. And if that is you, mentally, like this is way too stretching, that's okay. I've actually done a podcast on dealing with the mom guilt over not nursing your baby, and I will link that in the show notes. Nonetheless, I am going to keep encouraging it because I believe it's also very powerful, not just for health benefits, but for mental benefits too, because nursing releases a hormone in mothers that it's called the love hormone. I don't know the scientific name. I learned it and remembered it once, but nonetheless, it's a love hormone and helps you just love your baby. And it can be so powerful, and it gets even more powerful as you get better at it and as you keep going. It is going to have difficult moments though. I remember with my 5th baby, which he's 1, there was a time when I was trying to figure out not the pumping and then the nursing, and then I just felt like I didn't have enough milk for the baby. Like he just was suckling and didn't seem to be getting enough, and I was so discouraged. And this was pretty early on, like within a couple months, and I was thinking that as I aged, my body just couldn't do it anymore. Maybe it just couldn't nurse, and I cried for a long time. And it was really difficult to feel like my body wasn't doing what it was supposed to in feeding my baby. So we did have some freezer milk that we gave to him, but I kept trying. I wondered and worried that I might not be able to do it, but I kept trying. And the nice thing about nursing your baby is that it is supply and demand. So if you keep nursing, keep pumping, usually like the supply will go up because the demand is going up. And that's what happened. And I was able to better regulate pumping and feeding my baby the right amount. But I did have a very, very difficult time. This is not a walk in the park, but the thing we can realize is that even though our brains will want to convince us to stop and give us all the reasons to stop, we have power over our brain and the thoughts we think. Your brain's going to tell you to stop nursing because it's too demanding. Your body just doesn't feel like yours. The time it takes, The supply and demand and figuring that out can be rough. Clogged milk ducts and just feeling like a cow. But mama, you can choose different thoughts. I can do hard things. I want to do this for my health and for my baby's health. I believe this will be good for both of us. Just start thinking positive thoughts like that in relation to nursing. Do research on nursing and find out the facts for yourself on how good it is for you and for baby. Now, I did want to talk about clogged milk ducts real quick. If a clogged milk duct doesn't get released, like you don't figure out how to unclog it, it can lead to mastitis, which is really painful. I think I've had it at least once with each child. It's a painful bacteria infection of the mammary gland. It can feel feverish. Your breast can feel red and sore to the touch. Oftentimes you probably should see a provider if it goes on too long, or your doctor. That's what I mean by provider. Go see a doctor. But before it gets to that, it can be clogged milk ducts. Now, what are the best ways to get the clogged milk ducts and what they are? So basically it kind of feels like a lump in your breast, or your breast can feel hard and like not able to release. The best ways to release it are through a hot shower or massage. There's other natural ways. I've never tried them, usually a hot shower, massage, and then I've found that as I pump, if I would pump, or even while I'm nursing, if I can rub at that spot and massage it while I'm nursing or while I'm pumping, that helps it to get released as well. Mama, you can do this. I know it seems like so much work, and at the same time, not a lot of work. Like so much work to feed the baby so often, but the in-between times you're not sure what to do with yourself. And it can be tough, but work with your mind and find the thoughts that you want to think for your motherhood. Find the thoughts that help you in the things you are struggling with postpartum. Is it nursing? Is it bottle feeding? Is it lack of sleep? What are those problems you are dealing with, and how would you like to have them happen in your life? Like, how would you dream that it could be different? And then start telling yourself the positive to help you get there. You can do this, mama. You can do this. I was going to end the episode, but I had one more idea that I'm going to give you, and that is with doing both. Now, sometimes in motherhood, it feels like we are either all nursing or all bottle, but there is actually a way you can do both. And when I started doing both and figuring out that I could do both, it was very freeing because I had the convenience of nursing, but the freedom of the bottle. And this still does take some working and figuring out because you got to figure out the supply and demand thing and then pumping when you do the bottle. But nonetheless, it can allow you some freedom, but still feel like you're nursing your baby. I did a whole episode on this shortly after I had my 5th baby that I will also link in the show notes. But in just what I would do is I would nurse my baby like all through the night and during the day until the evening one. The evening feeding, I would let my husband do it. And then this would allow us to where maybe if we wanted to go somewhere on the weekend, the baby would be used to taking a bottle. With my 2nd baby, I made the mistake of not doing a bottle at all. And then she wouldn't take a bottle for anyone. So there was only a very small window in which I could be gone or like away from her without her with me. And I love my babies, but I do think some time away, especially in connection with your husband, can be good too. And making it good and manageable for a babysitter, whoever that might be, will set yourself up for success in these endeavors. So that is my thoughts for today. Sorry it was a lot on nursing, but nursing is a trial and a thing to be worked through. And there are a lot of negative thoughts that come with it. So we have to really be intentional about finding the positive thoughts to go with it in what we desire. So work on that today, Mama. I am cheering for you, and we will chat again next week. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.